Thank you for joining me. Today we are discussing a very important issue because Sanwo-Olu has led the Southwest governors to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yesterday, Sanwo-Olu and his cohort, they were in the National Assembly saying that regional police must be effected without any delay because these Fulani Janjaweed terrorists are moving aggressively into the south. Today we have it at Kogi, we have it at Ilani, we have it at Niger. Nothing less than 260 Christian students have been kidnapped across board, and what we have is a repeat of that same playbook they did for Jonathan in 2014. Sanwo-Olu will not open his eyes and watch his principal Bola Ahmed Tinubu go down without a fight. I mean, for Nigeria to actually be secure, this is beyond whether Tinubu wants to be the president by 2027, whether Sanwo-Olu wants to fight for his Oga at the top. It's beyond that. The Southwest are making the moves. I think the Southeast and the South-South should not be silent. I have never seen the South-South people at one point in time come out to say, we need regional police, because they have not felt threatened. Yes. Okay? But putting the South-South people aside, Nigeria needs all the structural realignment and rearrangement for us to survive. Because the agenda is very clear, particularly in 2014. I'm going to show you a video where an Oyo House of Rep member challenged the Northern reps. He told them, listen, you cannot bring a bill that offers to practice Sharia in Nigeria. No. Because according to Section 10, 99 Constitution, it is clearly stated that Nigeria at any point in time will not adopt a state religion. No state will be, but today we know that that is a lie. About 12 northern states are already Sharia governed. All right? Are Sharia governed. And those states that I'm talking about are where you have it that this so-called terrors emanated from. Most of them came out from Borno. Borno happened to be one of the states that were part of the early states that adopted Sharia. So Sokoto, that is the headquarters of Sharia. That is where you have the seat of caliphate. That is where you have the Sultan. This is where, those are the states that the Sultan will not come out and tell you that, no, according to the Section 10 in the 99 Constitution, people should not adopt Sharia. Let us practice Sharia according to our what? Religion in our closet. He wouldn't. He simply wants Sharia to be propagated across Nigeria. These are the goals, these are the aims of the Sultan of Sokoto. Nobody can tell me anything otherwise. Because if it is not his agenda, his wish, his prayers for Nigeria to be Sharianized, the Sultan will not be writing letters of warning to Southern governors that nobody has the right to tell any Muslim that they cannot practice Sharia or they cannot establish Sharia panels. His agenda is clear and everybody knows that. And we know what comes with Sharia. It comes with political Islam. And what political Islam typically does is you will not be able to drink alcohol anymore, just as we have in the north. You will not be able to rear pigs. You will not be able to eat pork. These things comes with political Sharia. They will start telling you these are haram, these are halal, these are the sort of businesses you should do. This is where you dress. This is where Nigeria wants to go. And the fight must start in Southwest aggressively, because this one that we have in Kwara, it don't be nearby you. As a matter of fact, yesterday in Ijebu-Ode, a community was unraveled to be a Fulani community. Okay? This was released online by one very young guy called Machito, a man who works in the United States of America, an evil guy, but he works with intelligence. He has been releasing so many very sensitive information in the time. Currently, he releases info, but you know now, as our people are, there's one guy called Jack. He immediately reported the situation to the police in Ajabo, Ogun State. Ajabo is just close to Ijebu-Ode. Now, the police said they went there, that when they got to that community, a community inside the bush, inside the bush, where they found about 25 huts, they found only women and children. They said there was no men there. And the police said, oh, these people are just farm settlement. Farm settlement, why is it that the Fulani will rather find peace in the bush? Because they are wicked. You cannot tell me that the only place are we still in the, when our forefathers were opening, they were opening this wilderness as a den, because they were the first to get to that place. They will open the forest up, turn it into communities. Places have been opened already in Ogun State. Why must the Fulanese farm settlers go inside the bush, just clear a path, have bush surround them to form a moat? No, they have a sinister agenda. The police get in there saying that they found only women and children. Then they must understand that those male, because a woman will not just say, I want to go and start living inside the bush. There has to be someone, a man, staying with them. That's just the truth. The police denounced it. They said, no, this is just false alarm. They rubbish that guy that released that intel for Yorubas. And it was the Yorubas that were tarnishing the guy, attacking the guy. Lo and behold, in less than 3 hours, there was an attack in Ijebu. You see, with the Yorubas, the Southwest particularly, we must begin to talk to ourselves and say the truth. Tinubu has every right, has every opportunity, has everything in his abode, in his custody, to protect Nigeria, to divide Nigeria, to restructure Nigeria, but he cannot continue to be a coward. Tinubu, that we have all said, okay, this man does not have a godfather. He cannot be afraid of doing the needful. He cannot be afraid of questioning why are they not always pushing for Sharia. All of a sudden, this man, he is just quiet. The Kwara people, over 200 and something people were, Kwara into Niger, what's the difference? In the church that we saw, how many people were kidnapped? Over 35. In Niger, a Catholic church, 200 and something. Now that we said that we have that, listen, Sanwo-Olu must begin to cry to Baba's hearing that, Baba, we need our Amotekun or another, just approve regional police, approve state police, anywhere where you want to make do. The Southwest is more than capable to be able to fund them. Any region that like when they say they don't get the money, I can categorically tell you that from Middle Belt all towards Niger Delta, Southeast, Southwest, South, they have the finance, the money, the capability, okay, and they have the commitment to finance state policing. Tinubu, I beg you, give us state police. These people have surrounded everywhere. They've surrounded everywhere. Ogun State is just how many meters away from Oyo State? Oyo State already is receiving attack back to back. Kwara to Oyo, my hometown in Shaki, is saying, what's the distance between Kwara to that place? Within 1 hour, you are already in Kwara. Yes, if you are going from Shaki, he's saying in Shaki, within 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, you are in Kwara. So what does that mean? That these monsters are already here. This is why you see me that I solemnly, say that Nnamdi Kanu is a bad man. I sometimes say it. Because everything Nnamdi Kanu prophesied, taking away his violent rhetorics. Because if he had stayed on the, just a virtual signal, let him continue to alarm, continue to put that fear in the people that these Fulani militias are already in our bushes without him calling for killings or whatever. I am sure today, Nnamdi Kanu would have been so revered and he wouldn't have been in this situation he finds himself today. But that is another way. All right, that is another way. Because there are arguments that because it's Igbo, Sunday will also do the same thing. But those ones are discussions for another day. Today, all Nigerians now see that the Fulani elders, militias are the trouble that we have in this country. I mean, how can you be telling us that in 2025, you do not want to change your system of life? How can you be telling us that in 2025, that you do not want to stop open grazing? How can a Fulani man, how can Fulani representatives, how can Fulani senators, these people, how can they be telling us that their way of life for centuries is to move around with cattle? Umba. There was a time men walk naked. Then it got to a time they started using leaf. It got to a time they started using hides, animal skins. It got to a time they started manufacturing all sort of clothes. And today humans have not been able to surpass such innovations. No human being wants to walk around without wearing his clothes. Why is the full animal wearing clothes? Why is he not walking around with his balls dangling? How can you be telling us that because you're an elder, you don't want to advance? How about now? It's because you have an agenda. That is the same thing they did to Ogun State. Similar pattern is what they want to use. I mean, we know that Gani Adams, who is the leader of OPC, Orua People's Congress, I said that what they are doing, that man now don't they shout the alarm, he has been blasting the alarm. And what they are doing in Kwara, Kogi, is a testing ground. They are using it to test the waters. They want to see the reaction of the president, the reaction of the governor, the reaction of the people. When they take those places, whether there's minerals or no minerals, they are fighting for conquest. Because when a person comes, takes over your land, it's a conquest. You don't start, downplaying, these people are attacking because of minerals. They want the minerals for themselves. Historically, conquest is taking over people's land to become your own. Whether there's minerals there or not is inconsequential. You take it, it's not as if when they extract the minerals, they return it back. No. At this point, we already have the structures in Southwest. In the late 90s into early 2000, we had the OPC that cut across the Southwest down into Benin. We have OPC in Benin. So if OPC can get into Benin, definitely there are some parts of Delta it will get to. Of course, particularly those areas of the Shekiri, yes. So we, at this point in time, as a Southwesterner, as a Southerner, I am not against any form. If the Eastern Security Network, if it is the Ebubiagu, whatever they are called, if they need to be strengthened, Tinubu, if your failure to do this, first and foremost, you will lose votes. Yes. Okay? You're going to lose vote. That's one. The people will die. That's two. Then the Fulani Janjaweed will then, at the end of the day, dip the Quran into the sea. Of course. Is that not what the agenda is? Let me tell you, the greatest mistake we had was Buhari becoming the president. There's a picture where Buhari was caught in the State House, spreading the flag. In that flag, they wrote it there. Is it the group fighting for Sunnah and struggle or something? They wrote it in Arabic, but it has to do with jihad and the spreading of the Quranic, sermons. Whether it was captured from bandits, whether it was captured from Boko Haram's ground zero in Sambisa Forest, what we saw was Buhari showcase that flag. He wasn't showcasing it to burn it. He was showcasing it and he was smiling. Yes. The northern oligarchs and elites, most of them are not against Nigeria getting Sharianized. They will hide under the ideas of what? One Nigeria. Tell you that, don't let Donald Trump to divide us. Don't let Donald Trump to disrupt the unity of Nigeria. When Nigeria been there united. If the North wants to unite with the Middle Belt, before we even talk about the South, the North will allow the Middle Belt to live the life they want to live. The reason why the North are so much attacked is because the North refused to kowtow. The North said, we don't want to leave our culture. We already speak the same language, predominantly outside if you go to the Middle Belt. But these people said they want to be Christians. These people said they want to be able to practice their traditional culture. Okay? They said they want to do this, they want to do that. But this northern elite will not come out and say that no group, whether you are Muslim Ummah, you do not have a right to force. You can never see them say this. You never see them say that if people should have the will to practice what they want to practice. If they like they should drink alcohol, none of our business. Abi, they're the first person go heaven according to their standards and values. I saw one guy too. They started threatening him. Oh. The guy sang a song. They told him that the song that he sang is haram. That he should take the song down. I said, sure. In fact, there's a movie now on Netflix. That movie is named The Herd. The Herders. They call it The Herd. It's a Nigerian movie that portrays what the Fulani herders, these militias, what they have been doing. And could you believe that the northern leaders, influencers, are already writing Netflix? Netflix, take this movie down. It is too dangerous. It is too divisive. I don't understand. When we have movies that talk about Isakaba, when we have movies that talk about blood money rituals in Southwest, when we talk about movies that talk about the Yahoo that portrays what the Southern youths are now largely engaging in, nobody talks about it. The Southern Nigerians will just say, we need to work on this thing. Oh, government create more opportunities. Oh. In fact, most times now we go to even spread the movies. Yeah, watch. Sometimes I will even take the movie and send it to my friends that I know are into Yahoo. Send it to my younger ones that I know that are into Yahoo. I know that this is from this thing. Desist. Stop. This is not good. This does not speak well of our values as a family, as a region, as a people. But I will not come out on like these ones now. They're saying that this movie should be taken down. Then you must understand that the North in their large numbers have an agenda. And we must open our eyes. Immediately I said, I know this movie is dividing the Nigerian country. No. One Nigeria, we should not be. A movie is portraying what Fulani herders have been doing. How they have been kidnapping people. How they will first and foremost carry cattle. We all know the stories. But here we are, they are saying, take the movie down. In fact, as I speak, I think Netflix has taken the movie down. Then you must understand that there is an agenda. This was how they came out, started saying that there's no Christian genocide. That no more Muslims have been killed. The Christians who have been killed, even if it's just one, and he came out, he seeked for help, and Donald Trump says, I want to come and help that one person. How does that stop the Muslims from getting their own help? The Muslims are not comfortable with Donald Trump helping them because if there is a thief hunting the Christians in a community, and you agree at the same time that that same thief is hunting the Muslim community, but the Christians are the one crying out, if that thief, that common problem is taken out, would your own peace not be restored? But in this case, they are saying, no, you are not the only one. You do not have right to talk. It is because they have something that they are gaining. Do not be deceived. They have an agenda. Indeed. And our eyes don't open. Thank you for Sanwo-Olu for leading this course to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you, the Southwest governors. And I want to use this moment to implore and encourage all Southern governors, particularly my Southeastern governors. You people cannot continue to be silent. I don't know why the Southeastern governors are always laid back. When Amotekun was being discussed, the Southeast governors were rather cursing and abusing Nnamdi Kanu. What actually led to the creation of Amotekun was Sunday Igboho's agitation. When life throws you a lemon, you turn it to a lemonade. At Igbo's agitation, when everybody saw it, that, oh man, this thing is actually happening. Then the Southwest governors felt, okay, Igbo, you are right, but you cannot continue your illegality hunting people down. Let us formalize it. And it was formalized. That was what we got. If Igbo had not spoken, there would never have been an Amotekun. If Igbo had not had the courage to be going to forest, that indeed these people are in the forest, for many years, they've lived there for 5 years, 6 years, nobody knew why they were mastering the map of your community. The same thing must happen in Southeast, because I do not want anything to happen to the Southeast, because I love them. I do not want anything to happen to the Middle Belt. They also should have their own regional security outfit. Nigeria, we've outgrown this Nigerian policing central system. We've outgrown it. Our population is exploding. The Fulani militias are becoming every day, they're becoming desperate. And the agenda, at the end of the day, must not agenda on our end, on our head, inshallah.